So this is my 1944 Coupe. It's one of those real kind of barn find type of cars. It was built sometime in around 1970 as somebody's race car out of the Dallas area. It used to be like a pearl yellow with some really scary suspension built under it. It has a true 67 Corvette 327 and a Muncie 4-speed. I've had it about a year now. Definitely a lot of fun to drive. It's virtually rust-free and in really impeccable condition. I bought it and installed a 2-link on it, an air ride. As you can see, my skirt fell off. I put a Mustang 2 in front. You know, some new white walls. Done some of the upholstery work on it. I did the door panels and some other stuff. I have a bench seat I'm working on, but I haven't got around to finishing that yet. Under the hood here, no idea about the motor, but it is indeed a 327. It breaks down almost every time I drive it, so it's always lots of fun. But, you know, that's what they're for. This is my vintage toolbox I found at an antique store for 12 bucks. I think it's the favorite part of the car. Still has the 1974 Texas inspection sticker on it. Still got some of that yellow. Gotta get rid of that. It's killing me. Oh yeah, hit the subscribe button over there. So this here is my louver punch. I made this thing about 15 years ago. I've done quite a few hoods on it. This was actually made of a 3/4 inch piece of steel that I took and ground and then hardened. Made the lower die. It's been pretty handy. This was actually my first English wheel. I had as you can see bolts here, I had a English wheel I could bolt on there with a lower die, and then I could put like a sheet metal bending brake, planishing hammer, a bunch of different things. It was sort of a multi-purpose tool. And for about 10 years now, it's been solely just a louver punch. Anyways, going to be punching holes and this thing today, and my 40 Ford. So I'll take and throw some cardboard up here so I protect the windshield, and then I got a post hold the hood while I unbolt it. Last thing I want is that thing smashing me in the head. At least I don't have to worry about scratching the paint. Never fails. Always one oddball. Alrighty. There's some little hidden screws up here for the this piece. That goes down up here. Okay. And spring, I guess. to flip it. Still see remnants of that ugly ass yellow. But now's the time to clean the hood and straighten anything out, because once you punch louvers in it, it'll be virtually impossible. So I'm going to strip all that yellow off and clean the hood front to back. So I'm not sure when louvering hoods came into play in the hot rod world, whether it was for pure function or just good looks, but it's definitely become the quintessential hot rod modification, sort of the standard. So the metal on this hood is actually super straight, but there's obviously some rust scarring here. This car was painted around 1970, and they have stripped the metal with, looks like, I don't know, a rock tied to a grinder. It's pretty rough where they cut into it. So trying to save some of the marks here, because I don't really plan on painting the car anytime in the near future. So the idea of driving a bare metal car is a stupid one. I don't recommend it. But if you're gonna do it, there's a few tricks that you need to know about keeping the metal from rusting. So I've just DA'd with the 80 grit the entire hood, and it cleaned up everything on it. It looks real nice. So now we have the Gibbs oil. Gibbs is like, it's a silicone free, you can buy on Amazon. It's kind of like more like a gun oil. It's got a particular smell to it. And then you find yourself the old cheapo vibrating wood sander. You know, it's what we use in shop class in, you know, high school. And then the handy red Scotch-Brite pad. Squirt a little bit of your Gibbs oil on there. Don't be afraid to get it wet. So once your hood's got more oil on it than a midget wrestler, just find your favorite t-shirt and wipe it off. And you can see what it does is it leaves a real nice uniform finish that looks like new metal. And it helps to hide all the imperfections. So if you have a less than stellar weld, you can hide it a little bit so you can take a picture and be an internet superhero. Also, the oil, it keeps those dumbasses at the car shows from leaning up against your car, because it will ruin your shirt every time you touch it. But it works really well and looks nice. I've driven through rainstorms, I've washed the car, I've done all kinds of things. This oil actually works pretty well, so I can't recommend it enough. So, first thing, figure out is how far can I get my hood in here before it bottoms out. So I'm at 29 inches. So over here at 29 inches, right there, it gives me louvers that far in. So that I should get, not sure if this brace is gonna be in my way or not. Let's see if I can work around it. Really don't want to remove it. Yeah, so the most important thing to start with is the layout. So we're gonna make sure the inside of the hood's all nice and clean, and then we'll start laying out what we can do. First, we're gonna measure how far we can get the hood into the louver punch, so we can figure out where our first mark is. So my louver punch is 2.5 inch. So my louver punch is 2.5 inches. So we need to have the center far enough away from the center strip and account for the stainless to be over here to where the center is. So I need to move this line over. It looks like 1 inch. And there it is, 96 louvers. It's pretty hard not to lick a car with a no hood. You gotta get these things out and drive them occasionally.